And look what we have back from the machine shop. It is the resurfaced flywheel. We're going to install that. We're going to install this pink thing, and we're going to install all of this crap back on so that this car can go back on the ground. Alright, let's see what's inside this box. Clutch file, clutch tool, alignment tool. This is the main bearing inside this transmission. This must be the clutch disc. Actually, we'll just remove this when we need to use it. This is the pressure plate. And we gotta install this, the flywheel bearing. Where the hell did I put the bearing? Alright, gonna find a socket that's just the right size on the outer race and knock it in with a hammer. Now we can put the flywheel onto the engine. We're going to blue Loctite the flywheel bolts and then torque them down in a star pattern. Get one bolt. Now we just gotta clean the surface with brake cleaner, and then we can put the clutch friction, the clutch on, and then the pressure plate on top of that. Get that, and then I gotta find the dowel pins that these guys go on to, which is that's better. Oh, it's probably easier doing this first. So put the clutch on, then the clutch alignment tool, and then your pressure plate. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, that is it for the engine side of the clutch and pressure plate and all that sort of good stuff. So the next thing we've got to do is to prep the transmission. We've got to put in the new throwout bearing. We got to put grease on the fork. We got to... I think that's it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so hopefully you can see it with my shadow being in the way, but this is the clutch fork. And there's a little divot in here that you gotta put a bit of grease on, which goes onto the pivot ball over here. So what I'm going to do is get my grease, my finger, and put it on the pivot ball. There we go, and put it onto the clutch fork itself. Get it right in there. Cool. And then take out the throwout bearing. And then we're going to install it onto the clutch fork, which is like so. Oh, we've got to put some grease onto this wear spots there too. Cool, that's good. And let's install it inside, push it through the little rubber thing onto the shaft. A little grease on this shaft here too. Cool. And it came with the a little sachet here, which I think is for the splines of the gearbox. So we're going to cut that open and put a little bit, but not too much. We don't want that flinging onto the friction material of the clutch. Alright, I'm just going to get a paper towel and just wipe off the excess, and we should be good on this side. here comes the hardest part. Getting the transmission on the engine. I'm going to attempt this myself, and hopefully I don't hurt any body parts today. I might just change out of my safety jandals into my safety shoes.
Okay, as you can probably tell from the previous clips, I wasn't able to put the transmission back into the engine, but today's a new day, and I've got some tricks that my friendly subscribers and friends have told me what I could do to make it a little bit easier for myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that, and hopefully I don't hurt myself even more today. So without further ado, let's cut to my struggle.
I'm gonna use knee pads this time. I play volleyball and I've got these old spare pair. I'm gonna wear these underneath long pants because last time my legs got destroyed. So some of the things that I was told to do is to jack the front of the engine up. I couldn't get it with my big jack, but it was because I was trying to use the pad to push it up. I've got some of those blocks of wood and stuff lying around the garage that I didn't even think about, but I could put that on top of the jack and use that as an extension to push on the front of the engine, and then maybe jam something between the engine and the steering rack to make it tilt that way. Another thing I was told is that if I move the bell housing front as far forward as I think it would go, and then tie a piece of like a ratchet strap or like a bungee cord to the end and lift that guy up to where I think it is in the center console, where the hole is. So put a piece of wood or something across there and then let that hang up like this. So all I need to do is take the weight off the bell housing where the start of my hand is and lift it up like that. Another thing is get the old drive shaft or new drive shaft. I think use the old drive shaft. Put this guy inside the end of the transmission, and what that allows me to do is that if it doesn't line up the spline, I can turn it until it does and then push it in. But yeah, I'm not sure how I can turn the spline when my head and arms over here, so I might need to swap it around so my head's that way. But yeah, I'm not too sure, but we'll get to that. But I think jacking out the engine and having the rear end raised up would help. There's only one way to find out. Alright, I'm about to start this. You see that that's supported just in front of the oil pan, but not on the pulley. It's supported there, it's tilted back, and then I got the transmission on a tilt coming out of the hole onto the roll bar, so that's supported there. One thing that I haven't done yet is to actually, no, I think that's it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the drive shaft in and let it hang down, but I'll try do this first, and if it doesn't work, then I'll put the drive shaft in.
now that the hardest part is done, time to put back all the transmission bolts. I need to go to my friend's place to pick up 2 more because I was missing 2. The starter bolts, the speedo, the neutral and reverse switch, the PPF and all that good stuff, drive shaft, and then do another once over, and hopefully this job will be done soon. Oh, I did it! It is possible with one person.